Welcome to Speak with Heart. This is Chapter 1, and this is where your IELTS speaking journey truly begins. Before vocabulary, before grammar, before strategies, you must understand what the IELTS speaking test really is. Many students feel nervous because they don't know what the examiner wants. That fear blocks your English. In this chapter, you will learn 3 important things. First, how the IELTS speaking test is structured. Second, how examiners actually score your speaking. And third, the biggest myths that stop students from reaching Band 7 or higher. This chapter is not about performing. It's about understanding. When your brain feels safe, your English flows naturally. So take a breath, relax your shoulders, and let's begin. Do you want to speak English with less stress? Then you need to train your brain, not just your grammar. Welcome to the Neurolanguage Coaching Corners. These corners appear at the end of each chapter. They help you build English in the way your brain learns best. So what is a Neurolanguage Coaching Corner? It is your personal guide for training English and training your brain. You learn speaking skills plus brain skills. It helps you do 3 important things. 1. Reduce anxiety and think clearly under pressure. 2. Strengthen memory with repetition and emotion. 3. Speak with confidence, clarity, and calm focus. Here is why this works. When you learn in a relaxed state, your brain releases helpful chemicals. They boost motivation and attention. This helps you enter the learning zone. In that zone, words come faster. Mistakes feel safer, and you improve faster. Now let's look at what each corner includes. There are 4 parts. First, mindset shift. You rewire fear into confidence. Second, neuroscience insight. You learn what your brain is doing during fluency. Third, practical brain-based exercise. A quick 1 or 2 minute activity. Fourth, reflection prompts. These questions help you track growth and become your own teacher. Here is how to use these pages. Step 1. Read the corner after you finish a chapter. Step 2. Try the exercise at least once. Do it before you record your answers. Step 3. Write your reflections. Use the workbook or a journal. Step 4. Revisit your favorite corners before exam day. They calm your mind, and they boost focus. Remember this. Your brain learns language through emotion, repetition, and connection, not pressure. So relax, breathe, stay curious. You're not just studying English now. You are rewiring your brain for fluency. Most students lose band scores for one reason. They don't understand what the speaking test really measures. Today, we fix that. Now let's look at what each corner includes. Welcome to Step 1 of your IELTS speaking journey. By the end of this lesson, you will know 3 things: format, scoring, and common mistakes. The speaking test is not about perfect English. It is about communication. Clear, confident, and natural. Many students memorize answers. That sounds fake, and it can lower your score. Let's talk about the format. There are different parts. Each part tests a different skill. Your job is simple. Understand what happens. Then you can prepare the right way. Next, scoring. Examiners follow rules. They don't guess. You are not graded like school. You are rated on how well you speak. So we train the exact skills examiners want. Now the biggest traps. Myths and mistakes lower band scores. Let's avoid them. Myth 1. Use very advanced words. Truth. Use clear words well. By the end of this lesson, you will know 3 things: format, scoring, and common mistakes. The speaking test is not about perfect English. It is about communication, clear, confident, and natural. Many students memorize answers. That sounds fake, and it can lower your score. Let's talk about the format. There are different parts. Each part tests a different skill. Your job is simple. Understand what happens. Then you can prepare the right way. Next, scoring. Examiners follow rules. They don't guess. You are not graded like school. You are rated on how well you speak. So we train the exact skills examiners want. Now the biggest traps. Myths and mistakes lower band scores. Let's avoid them. Myth 1. Use very advanced words. Truth, use clear words well. Myth 2. Memorize perfect answers. Truth, speak naturally. This chapter is your foundation. When you know what is expected, you stop fearing the test. You start showing your best English. Next, we go deeper into speaking performance. Save this lesson and practice with me every day. Now let me explain the IELTS speaking test in a simple way. The IELTS speaking test is a face-to-face interview. You speak with one examiner. The test lasts between 11 and 14 minutes. There are 3 parts. Each part tests a different speaking skill. Part 1 is the introduction and interview. This part takes about 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner asks about you. They ask about your home, your work, your studies, or your hobbies. For example, they may ask, "Do you work or are you a student?" This part checks your comfort and fluency. You should sound relaxed and natural. Part 2 is the long turn. This part lasts about 3 to 4 minutes. You receive a cue card with one topic. You have 1 minute to prepare. Then you speak for up to 2 minutes. For example, describe a book you recently read. This part tests how you organize ideas. You need a clear beginning, middle, and ending. Part 3 is the discussion. This part lasts 4 to 5 minutes. The questions are connected to Part 2. They are more abstract. Topics include society, technology, or the environment. For example, do you think reading habits are changing in your country? This part tests deeper thinking. You must explain opinions and give reasons. Remember this. Part 1 is about comfort. Part 2 is about structure. Part 3 is about depth. If you master all 3, you are ready to score high. Now let's move on to talk about how IELTS speaking is scored. The examiner scores you in 4 areas. Each area is marked from 0 to 9. First is fluency and coherence. This means how smoothly you speak. Long pauses can lower your score. Second is lexical resource. This means your vocabulary range. Use different words, not the same ones again and again. Third is grammatical range and accuracy. You should use different sentence types. Mistakes are okay if meaning is clear. Fourth is pronunciation. The examiner must understand you easily. Your accent does not matter. Here is an important tip. You do not need perfect grammar. You need range and clarity. Now, let's fix some common myths. You do not need a British accent. Clear speech is what matters. Memorized answers do not get band 9. Examiners can hear memorization. Short answers are not safe. If you do not expand, you lose marks. Rare words do not always impress. Forced vocabulary sounds unnatural. Remember this. The IELTS speaking test is about communication, not perfection. Let's practice spotting a strong IELTS speaking answer. Here is the question. Do you enjoy cooking? Candidate A says, yes. Candidate B says, yes, I do. I often cook for my family at weekends. I like trying new recipes because it's relaxing and creative. Candidate B will score higher. Why? Because they extend their answer. They speak in full sentences. They use varied vocabulary. Now let's try another one. Do you like reading? I like reading books. Candidate B says, yes, I do. I usually read before going to bed. I enjoy mystery novels because they help me relax and forget about my day. Again, candidate B will score higher. Short answers give the examiner no evidence. Longer answers show fluency, vocabulary, and confidence. Always remember this. Expand your answer. Add a reason. Give one simple detail. That is how you build a higher band score. Now it's time to think like a higher band IELTS candidate. At band 6.5 and above, improvement is not about speaking more. It is about speaking better. This exercise helps you do exactly that. First, record yourself answering the questions from exercise 1. Speak naturally. Do not aim for perfection. Aim for clarity and control. When you finish, listen to your recording carefully. Do not judge yourself. Analyze yourself. You are training like a professional speaker now. Let's go through the 4 IELTS criteria. First, fluency. Ask yourself this: did my ideas flow smoothly? Were my pauses natural, or did I stop because I was unsure? Small pauses are fine. Long, frequent pauses reduce your score. Rate yourself from 1 to 5. Second, vocabulary. Listen again. Did you show range? Did you use specific words instead of general ones? For example, did you say interesting? Or did you say challenging, engaging, or thought-provoking? Range shows control. Control raises your band score. Rate yourself from 1 to 5. Third, grammar. At band 6.5 and above, this matters a lot. Ask yourself this: did I mix sentence types? Did I use linking words, relative clauses, or conditionals? Accuracy matters, but variety matters too. One long, well-controlled sentence is better than many short ones. Rate yourself from 1 to 5. Fourth, pronunciation. Listen carefully. Was my speech clear and natural? Did my intonation rise and fall? Did I stress important words? At higher bands, pronunciation is not just about sounds. It's about rhythm and confidence. Rate yourself from 1 to 5. Now, reflect. Which score is the lowest? That is not a weakness. That is your next opportunity. Strong IELTS candidates improve strategically. They focus on one area at a time. They practice with intention. They listen, adjust, and repeat. This is how band 6.5 becomes band 7, and how band 7 becomes band 7.5 and higher. You are not far away. You are already doing the right work. Now let's move on to practicing part 1, or the introduction. You will hear 3 common questions. Listen carefully, then practice answering out loud. Let's begin. Question 1. What do you do? Do you work or study? I am currently studying computer science at university. I chose this subject because I am interested in how technology works. It can be challenging, but I enjoy practical projects. For example, coding and designing simple apps. In the future, I hope to work as a software developer. Question 2. Do you enjoy weekends more than weekdays? Yes, definitely. Weekends give me time to rest after a busy week. I usually spend time with friends or go hiking. These activities help me relax and recharge. During weekdays, I have many assignments, so weekends feel like a reward. Question 3. Have you ever learned another language? Yes, I studied Spanish for 3 years in high school. I am not fluent, but I can have basic conversations. I can also understand simple texts. It was very useful when I traveled to Spain last summer. I could order food and ask for directions. Learning Spanish made me realize I enjoy learning languages. Now it's your turn. When you record yourself, listen again and ask, did I speak more than one sentence? Did I use clear, specific details? Did I hesitate too much? Did I use different sentence structures? Practice again. Speak clearly. Stay calm. You are building confidence. Keep going. Now let's take a quick look at some important speaking reminders. Use them before every practice session. First, keep your answers 3 to 4 sentences. One sentence is too short. Don't stop at yes or no. Add specific details every time. Say your major, your weekend plans, or your hobbies. Details make you sound natural and confident. Now, your key takeaway. Always expand with a reason or an example. One idea becomes a small story. Also, do quick self-reflection after you speak. Ask, was I clear? And did I add details? This helps you fix weak areas fast. Remember, model answers are a guide. Do not memorize them word for word. Use them for ideas and structure. From Chapter 1, here's what matters most. The speaking test has 3 parts, about 11 to 14 minutes. So you must stay calm and steady. Examiners score you on 4 things: fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Train all 4 every week. Last reminder, clarity beats perfection. Speak naturally and keep moving forward. Now let's take a look at some common speaking test myths. Most IELTS candidates believe the wrong things about the speaking test, and these myths can quietly drop your band score because you end up practicing the wrong skills. Today, let's clear up the most common ones. Myth 1. I need a British accent to get a high score. This is false. The examiner is not grading your accent. They are grading clarity and how natural you sound. You can have an Indian accent, a Chinese accent, a Greek accent, or an Arabic accent, and still score Band 9, as long as you are easy to understand. What's actually true? You should focus on clear pronunciation. You should focus on word stress and intonation, not on changing your accent. Trying to copy a British accent often sounds forced, and forced speech lowers your fluency score. Here is what good speaking sounds like. I really enjoy cooking because it's relaxing. The key words are clear. The rhythm is natural. The message is easy to follow. That is what the examiner wants, not a British accent. Now, let's move on to myth 2. Myth number 2. If I memorize answers, I'll get a higher band. This is false. IELTS examiners are trained to spot memorized language. They hear it every day. If your answer sounds robotic, your score drops, even if your grammar is perfect. Memorized answers hurt fluency. They hurt coherence. Here's the truth. Prepare ideas. Do not memorize sentences. For example, do not say, cooking is my favorite hobby because it enables me to express my creativity. That sounds unnatural. It sounds memorized. Instead, say this. I like cooking because I can be creative and try new recipes. This sounds real. This sounds human. This gets a higher band. Now let's move on to myth 3. Myth 3. Short answers are safe. I won't make mistakes. Many IELTS students believe short answers are safer. They think fewer words mean fewer mistakes. This is a myth. If your answers are too short, the examiner has a problem. They do not have enough language to evaluate you. That means lower marks. You lose points for fluency. You lose points for coherence. You lose points for vocabulary range. Let me show you an example. A weak answer sounds like this. Yes, I like reading. This answer is correct, but it's too short. It shows almost no English ability. Now listen to a stronger answer. Yes, I do. I usually read before bed because it helps me relax. This answer is better. It has more grammar. It has a reason. It sounds natural. Here is the truth you must remember. Your answers should be 2 to 3 sentences long. Add a reason. Add an example. Add a feeling. You do not need perfect English. You need enough English to be evaluated. Short answers feel safe, but they are actually risky. Now let's move on to Myth 4. Myth 4. Using difficult words makes me sound smarter. This is false. IELTS does not reward forced vocabulary. It rewards natural, clear English. When you use words like ameliorate or juxtaposition, you often sound unnatural. Worse, the examiner may not understand your message. Listen to this. I find cooking relaxing and enjoyable. Now compare it with this. Cooking is a therapeutic manifestation of my emotional state. The second sentence sounds strange. It does not sound like real English. The truth is simple. Use vocabulary that fits the topic. Use words you can control. Clear English scores higher than complicated English. Now let's move on to myth number 5. Myth 5. Grammar mistakes ruin everything. This is false. You can still get Band 7 or even Band 8 with small grammar mistakes. IELTS does not want perfect English. IELTS wants clear meaning and sentence variety. Examiners look for simple sentences. They also look for complex sentences. Minor mistakes are normal. They do not destroy your score. You score higher when you mix sentence types, even if you make small errors. For example, I love watching movies because they help me relax, and sometimes I learn new vocabulary. That sentence is clear. It shows structure. That's what IELTS rewards. Now, let's move on to Myth 6. Myth 6. If I don't know the answer, I should stay silent. This is false. Silence hurts your fluency score. Silence shows fear, not thinking. IELTS examiners do not expect perfect answers. They want to hear how you manage difficulty. So, what should you do instead? Use filler phrases. Buy time. Talk around the topic. For example, I haven't really thought about that before, but I guess I'd say, this keeps you speaking. This protects your fluency score. This shows control. Remember, no idea is better than no sound. Now let's move on to the final myth. Myth 7. Myth 7. The examiner is trying to trick me. This is false. The examiner is not your enemy. They are not testing your intelligence, and they are not trying to confuse you. The examiner's job is very simple. They must give you opportunities to speak. That's it. Sometimes they ask follow-up questions. This does not mean you made a mistake. It means they want to hear more English. So, stay calm, breathe, and answer naturally. Treat the test like a normal conversation. When you speak more, you give yourself a better chance to score higher. Before you move on, pause for a moment and use these reflection task pages in your book. This part of the book is not about learning new tricks. It is about self-reflection. Many IELTS candidates fail not because of English. They fail because they believe the wrong things. Look at the myths you just read. Ask yourself honestly, which of these did you believe? Did you think a British accent was necessary? Did you believe memorized answers sounded fluent? Did you think short answers were safer? This reflection matters more than practice alone. Why? Because every belief shapes how you speak, and every belief shapes your score. When you reflect, you replace fear with clarity. You replace habits with better choices. Notice which ideas surprised you. Write them down. Then decide one clear focus, one thing you will do differently from today. IELTS improvement starts here, not with speaking faster, not with speaking faster, not with harder words. It starts with awareness. Take this reflection seriously. Your future answers depend on it. Before you practice speaking, pause. Your problem is not vocabulary. Your problem is your nervous system. When your brain feels stressed, your English shuts down. Your mind goes blank. Your voice speeds up. Your grammar disappears. This is not a language problem. This is a brain problem. That is why brain-based exercises matter. When your body is calm, your brain can access language. When your brain feels safe, fluency appears. So before every speaking task, do this. Sit upright. Relax your shoulders. Take a slow breath in through your nose. Count to 4. Hold for 2 seconds. Now, breathe out slowly through your mouth. Count to 6. Do this 3 times. As you breathe out, say silently, calm body, clear mind, confident voice. Now speak your first sentence out loud. Notice the difference. Your voice is slower. Your words feel smoother. Your mind feels clearer. That is your nervous system in balance. This short exercise trains your brain to switch from fear to focus, from panic to performance. Over time, your brain learns a new pattern. Speaking becomes safer. Speaking becomes easier. This is how real fluency is built, not by pushing harder, but by training smarter. Train your brain first, then let your English flow. Remember this. Every time you speak, you are not testing your English. You are training your brain. You are building confidence. You are improving clarity. You are creating real connection. Your brain loves 3 things: patterns, practice, positivity. When you feed your brain these 3 things, it gives you fluency in return. Now you understand how the IELTS speaking test really works. You have the right mindset for success. You know clarity matters more than perfection. You know fluency, vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation work together. They help you tell your story, not a textbook story. The speaking test is not about perfect answers. It's about real ideas, in real English. The strategies in this chapter are your practice ground. This is where confidence grows. In Chapter 2, things get practical. You will answer everyday questions. You will extend your answers naturally. This is your first real step toward a band 7 or higher. Keep speaking. Your brain is listening. You've just completed Chapter 1. Now you understand how the IELTS speaking test works. You know what examiners listen for. And most importantly, you know what does not matter as much as you thought. Remember this: IELTS speaking is not about perfect English. It's about clear communication. When you stop chasing perfection, your confidence grows. This chapter is only the foundation. In the next chapters, you'll learn how to answer questions naturally, extend your ideas, and speak with calm confidence, even under pressure. If you want the full journey, all the strategies, the neuroscience, the exercises, and the mindset work that turns fear into fluency, Speak with Heart is waiting for you. This book is not just about IELTS. It's about finding your voice in English. I'll see you in the next chapter.